you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment on it. What would you like to see more of? My bike is a 2018 Street Glide Special. I got just under 8,000 miles on it, so I've had quite a bit of time on the bike, and I had my 2015 that I bought brand new that I had just shy of 30,000 miles on that, and I had it for 2.5 years. My bike's in the back room on the tender, nice put away for winter since it's the first week of December and we're here in Michigan and it is, I don't know, 20 degrees out. It was snowing earlier today, and I'm already ready for spring. Mainly the things I want to go over were some of the misses I think that Harley really missed on for the 2018 Street Glide Special. My first one would be the oil sumping issue. I haven't had a lot of issues with it. I've had 3 or 4 separate occasions where I've had a couple of sumping issues, which I was riding hard for 45 minutes straight on the freeway doing about 100 miles an hour, and I got off the freeway and my bike literally felt like it didn't want to move, felt like my clutch was going out. And I got home, pulled my primary off, pulled everything apart. Clutch looked brand new, didn't smell burnt, nothing. Put it back together, rode it down the road, and it was fine. So talked to a buddy that's a tech at one of the Harley dealers locally, and he said it sounds like I'm having some sumping issues, so I got to take it in this winter and get it looked at. I got to get my list up here. The suspension, that is a big miss to me. I feel like the Street Glide Special is supposed to have the big coilovers that are supposed to handle so good and be the same shock that comes on the CVO. Personally, I think they are junk. They ride terrible. Those little sharp bumps we have here in Michigan, they really just they throw your back out. And I'm 25 and I hate how it rides. I think that's something that really missed on a premium touring bike. I rode this thing to North Carolina this summer. It got tiring. It was almost, you were just wore out from bumps and jolts in the road. And by the time we stopped, I was ready to be done after 9 hours on the road one night. And I really think for the price tag they put on, that Harley puts on these bikes at $27,000 or whatever it is, if I'm going to pay premium prices, I expect a premium product. So their shock is really lacking to me. I'd like to see a better shock on there. I feel that Harley just goes out and they call it a performance shock because it's a coilover, and they have the cheapest Chinese company or Mexican company build this shock. It's all about quantity over quality for Harley, which I feel like that's where it's really going to hurt them here coming up, because Indian's coming out where they got Fox shocks on their bikes. I think that's really going to take a huge toll on Harley, and they're going to have to make some changes here. The next point I want to make is the stock headlights and turn signals. So they come with halogen headlights and halogen turn signals. Why does every other Harley model come with an LED? But yet the Street Glide, you have to upgrade to a Daymaker at $575. I'm already spending $26,000, $27,000 for this bike before the taxes and the fees. Why do I got to spend another $500, almost $600 on a headlight? Premium bike. Where's my premium lighting? I think that is just the worst thing ever. The Road Glides come with it. Oh, the Road Kings don't actually, but all the other touring bikes come with it. The Dynas come with LEDs now, or Softails, whatever you want to call them now. Why is it that the Street Glide, that is so expensive in your most sold bike or purchased bike, why is that coming with a halogen headlight? It is my biggest pet peeve. I hate it. I put a JW speaker, which JW speaker, for those of you who don't know, it's the Evolution 2. They're actually the company that makes the Daymaker for Harley-Davidson. So I have that in my bike, and I have no complaints about that. But still, that was another $250 I had to spend on top of already buying the bike. And then the turn signals. I got the Custom Dynamics LED turn signals in my bike. Why am I paying top dollar again for halogen bulb? Well, look at the Indian. The Indian now is coming in lower priced than the Harley Street Glide Special. They got the adjustable windshield, they got Fox shocks, 4.5 inches of travel versus Harley's, between 2.5 and 3 inches of travel with the crappy coilover shocks. And then they have LED headlights and LED turn signals stock. Moving on, the stock handlebars. Oh my lord, they are the most uncomfortable handlebars I have ever rode on a motorcycle. They're god awful. Put a better bar on a bike. They're just terrible. I get you want it to be a general bar that fits everyone, but come on. So I mentioned earlier in the video I went down to North Carolina, and the day before I left for this trip, I ended up putting different bars on my bike. I went with the 12-inch LA Choppers Twin Peaks. Fantastic bar. I had the 10-inch on my 15 Twin Cam Street Glide Special. And I went with the 12s, which I'm really happy with, and I didn't want to ride to North Carolina, which that whole trip was 2,000 miles round trip. I didn't want to ride to North Carolina and back with those stock bars. I would have wanted to shoot myself. The bars are terrible. Your back hurts, you're hunched over. It puts you in an uncomfortable riding position. And I feel like I'm a pretty average rider on a Harley. I'm 6 foot tall, 230 pounds. You know, I feel like that's pretty average. I know some guys are skinnier than me, but the height is about the same. I got a 34-inch inseam on my pants, so, you know, I got a longer set of legs than most people, but still, those bars are just terrible. Moving on. The radio is, it's okay. Harley charges like $1,800 or $1,900 more. Why is it that when I turn my bike on, it takes a minute for this radio to load up, and sometimes it doesn't even load up? This is 2018. I shouldn't be having problems with it. In a radio that I have to take to the Harley dealer to get updated, I think that's terrible. Why, you know, like this thing has GPS, link it so it can be updated, you know, without me having to take it in. The fact that sometimes they don't even load, I'm glad that the 19s came with a new radio. I've messed with one at the Harley dealer. They're fantastic. So if you're looking to get into 19, which I would recommend it over an 18, definitely do that. And the 114 is definitely a huge thing for that too. That's my thing. That's one of my main things why I want to get a new bike, but I'm going to keep my 18s to probably the 2020s or 2021s come out. Probably the 21s, I'd say, because I'm really hoping Harley comes out with a different chassis to keep up with Indian. It rides better. But anyways, yeah, the stock radio is just, you know, it's good for what it is, but they could do better. Just the slow loading, and sometimes my Bluetooth on my phone doesn't want to hook up. It's not like I have an old phone. I got an iPhone 7. You know, like this thing should hook up, and I shouldn't have to worry about the radio. The audio is another thing, you know, while we're on the radio subject. Street Glide Special comes with the Boom Audio Stage 1, which, yeah, it's an upgrade over, like, the old stock stuff that came with the regular, I don't know, 5 1/4 inch speaker and a 6.5 frame. You know, those speakers sucked. The new ones suck, so I'll be taking my bike down to Watts Audio here this winter. Last but not least, the overall quality of the bike, just between my 2015 Street Glide Special and my 2018 Street Glide Special. The motor is great. I love the motor. I can't complain about the motor. I mean, the something issue kind of sucks, but it's a good motor. It runs good. I put a cam in it. The thing's fantastic. But overall quality, just the plastic parts, the saddlebags, the latches, the front fairing, the inner fairing, the paint quality, just in 3 years, Harley, if you're watching this, 3. As a customer, you can see the quality difference in the paint, you know. This bike, the paint's thinner, the plastic is more flimsy on the fairing, everything's lighter. The hinges in the saddlebags, when I go to close them, sometimes they don't want to close now, which my 15, I never had that problem. I just push the button and it would just lock right in. This one, sometimes I gotta jiggle the thing just for it to go smoothly. So I really think you guys are lacking, and you guys are focusing on quantity over quality. But you guys need to get back to your roots and put a quality bike together. And I think Harley's, you know, they're worried about their shareholders versus their customers, but the problem is, if you stop worrying about your customer, then your shareholders aren't going to make any money because your customer is going to go elsewhere. And I think Harley needs to take notes. Fox shock, 4.5 inches of rear travel, that's fantastic. The adjustable windshield, that's even better. I think that's great. The one thing I don't like about the Indian is the turn signals on one side. I think that's too much of like a sport bike. And no, I like my turn signals on each side. But overall, that's my gripes I have on my Street Glide Special. You know, the paint's not as good as what it could be. Oh, and when I got it from the dealership, you know, this is brand new. It had 2 miles on it. I jumped on it, rode it home. Well, I got home, you know, my dealer's about an hour away. Well, I started looking at it. Well, the paint has runs in it on the fairing where the panel is, where your buttons are, your accessory buttons. There's some runs in the paint there. And then I look around, my starter has a chip in it, you know, I don't know, probably I'd say 4 millimeters around. And it's just little things. And when I put my bars on, I took my stock mirrors off. The paint, there's a big bubble under the paint there. So I'm really hoping the Harley dealer I take my bike to get for my oil sumping and then the clutch recall, I'm really hoping those guys will warranty my paint issues, because I don't think I should be having paint issues with a bike that, you know, it has 8,000 miles on it now, but I've had these issues and they're documented from 80 miles is when I first noticed them. So the amount you pay for these bikes, you expect something that is gonna, you know, last you. These aren't a throwaway bike, you know, you're not paying $27,000 for a motorcycle just to ride it for a year or two and toss it out and get a new one. I just feel like, you know, Harley's kind of starting to lose their focus on things, you know, like I said before, it's quantity over quality, and I really think that Harley needs to step up their game. I'm really hoping in the next couple of years that we'll see some good changes from Harley, and maybe we'll see a new chassis, because we've had this chassis since '09. It's 10 years with the same chassis. You know, let's do some updates here. Come on, Harley. You guys got the money for R&D, and I mean, if you don't start doing the R&D, then you're not going to have the money for it. As a customer, a young customer, I'm 25. I mean, I bought my first new Harley at 22. Coming, you know, from a young perspective, it's these things beat the heck out of me. So I could only imagine if I was in my 50s or 60s and wanted to buy one of these bikes. You know, I wouldn't be able to ride all day long and jump off the thing and go hang out or do this and that. I'd be sore. I'd have to go lay in bed for 10 hours. That's not what you want. That's not what you expect out of a quality touring bag. So I definitely ride the bikes. I keep them pretty stock suspension wise. With this bike, I think I'm going to do some rear shocks on it, because after riding my 15 and now I'm back on the bike with the same shocks, it's time to upgrade them. I think I'm going to do some Legends shocks, Legends cartridge kits in the front end, and if it handled better. You know, the handling is just, I feel like I'm riding a car almost, because it doesn't handle like you would expect a motorcycle to handle. Like I jump on a dirt bike, the thing's nimble, and it's limber. You're able to ride it, throw it around, whereas I haven't rode an Indian Chieftain yet in 2019, but I've definitely seen a lot of videos, and they say that the center of gravity is so low on them that it's like riding a dirt bike. You know, it just handles so great. I'd really like to see that come out of Harley, maybe a performance bagger in mind, you know. And anyways, please like, subscribe, comment. Please let me know what I'm doing that you don't like, this and that, you know. Trying to get a new channel started. It's going to go over Harley stuff, dirt bike stuff, shop stuff pretty much. So see if we can get a good channel going. Maybe do some product reviews here in the future. I'll probably be getting a Bassani 2-in-1 stainless Road Rage 3 here in early spring, put on my bike, and I'd like to do a review on that over my gutted stock header and my SNS Grand Nationals, which I have a couple videos on my YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe, please. Help me help you. Watts Audio, they're in Farmington, Michigan. They do a killer job. Get a hold of Sean, tell him Garrett sent you. Don't tell him I have terrible YouTube videos, but please tell him I sent you, and let him know what you want. He can hook you up. He's a drag dealer. They do big wheel bagger stuff, performance bagger stuff, mainly audio stuff, remote car starters. I know wintertime Michigan's cold, so get a hold of them. They got the best deals. You name it, they can do it. Mild to wild. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you made it to the end of my video. I'll see you next time around.